proper Irish whiskey from a proper Irish.
I was the person that came up with the idea to do whiskey for Conor.
It is the finest man-made Irish whiskey there is on the market.
I went to Conor and I said, Conor, I have the deal ready for you. This is going to be a $1 billion deal. No messing here.
Artem is a rat, na 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 na, hey, na 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 na.
So Conor offered me $1 million, but I turned it down.
Conor McGregor and his former friend Artem Lobov are currently in a civil dispute regarding ownership of Conor McGregor's Proper 12 whiskey company. Artem Lobov claims he came up with the idea for Conor to create the whiskey brand, and Lobov feels he's entitled to 5% of the $600 million Conor McGregor made when he sold the majority of Proper 12. But Conor says Artem had no involvement with the creation of Proper 12. So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? How did these once best mates get to this point? In this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the timeline of their friendship and their current lawsuit. In 2015, when Conor McGregor was training for the biggest fight in his career versus Jose Aldo, he would begin training with Artem Lobov. Artem Lobov had been living in Dublin for the past 12 years. However, he was born and raised in Russia. Us MMA fans really started to notice Artem Lobov when Artem appeared as a contestant on the UFC's Ultimate Fighter TV series, which Conor was working on as a trainer. Unfortunately, Artem was eliminated from the competition after a loss to Ryan Hall. Conor did choose to bring Artem back in the competition, and Artem's performance led him to signing a contract with the UFC. And the two remained close friends after the Ultimate Fighter had finished. Conor and Artem were always training together, and they seemed like genuinely good friends. In 2018, Conor McGregor would come to Artem Lobov's defense after Khabib Nurmagomedov and Artem got into a heated argument in a New York hotel prior to UFC 223. After seeing footage of the incident, Conor McGregor flew to New York in rage and attacked Khabib's bus windows with a dolly and other equipment. He also injured multiple UFC fighters who were on the bus with Khabib, including Rose Namajunas and Michael Chiesa. Dana White and other board members of the UFC shunned Conor McGregor for his actions, saying they were disgusted with his behavior. Conor was ultimately charged with 3 counts of felony assault and 1 count of criminal mischief. More recently, in 2021, Artem supported Conor in his rematch versus Dustin Poirier, and the two still seem to be very close-knit friends. Artem even shared pictures with Conor on his Instagram account and referred to Conor as a brother. Also in 2021, Conor McGregor sold the majority equity in Proper 12 for $600 million, which McGregor got to keep $150 million of. However, things seemed to change in mid-2022 when Artem Lobov revealed in an interview that he was the one actually behind the Proper 12 whiskey brand.
Proper 12 whiskey story, few people know it, but this was actually my idea. I was the person that came up with the idea to do whiskey for Conor, and the way it happened was when I was in college in my last year of my bachelor's degree, I did a big presentation on the Cooley whiskey distillery. It's an Irish whiskey distillery. And while preparing, and researching for that presentation, I realized how dominant Irish whiskey used to be once upon a time. There used to be hundreds of whiskey distilleries all over Ireland.
Artem made it clear that he felt he was owed some equity in the company due to his part in the creation of the brand.
Conor offered me $1 million, but I turned it down.